on Wednesday night. If you get a chance, give me a call. Nothing urgent. Just want to talk to you. I thought the article, at least the thing online, is going to be printed tomorrow in the Times, was good. I think you're clear. And anyway, if you get a chance, give me a call. I love you.
Yeah, that voicemail was a tacit admission of guilt. This isn't hearsay. This is actual evidence. But of course, we know how that's covered.
Hey pal, it's Dad again. Don't worry, you could be driving a white Ford Bronco with a fleet of police behind you and the media would still talk about January 6th, so alright, take care. Love ya.
Joe's presidency has fallen badly, but Joe remembers what his dad used to tell him. Son, if you ever fall off the bike, just get back on there, start pedaling, and keep wrecking the country beyond all recognition. Look at Nancy Pelosi over here with the personal foul. Unnecessary roughness against a sweet Hispanic child.
Personal foul.
This was at the swearing in of Mayra Flores, a Republican who upset the Democrats in a special election. Pelosi's pretending to be classy, but then we see how she really feels about it. She's treating a little girl's head like she's fighting for the armrest in a crowded plane. Not that she has any experience with that. If the mainstream media ever bothers to cover this, which they won't, you know the headline would be, Republican brat gives violent headbutt to Pelosi elbow in failed insurrection attempt. Speaking of slimy California politicians, Congressman Lactose Intolerance, Eric Swalwell,
to help him cheat an election,
tweeted about being heckled by a father with his young boy. The father yelled at me, "Hey Swalwell," and then told his son, "That's Swalwell. He's trouble. He doesn't back Trump." I guarantee what really happened was this. The kid asked his father, "Hey Dad, is that somebody important?" No. Quick word everybody, I need you to subscribe, like, and comment.
Say, if you wanted help, why didn't you ask? Why didn't you just ask me, kid?
Look, I asked, but you never heard nothing.
These other big channels that say that they need your help, yeah, they don't really need it. I need it. Thank you. The World Swimming Governing Body, FINA, has banned Leah Thomas from women's swimming. Yes, that was a jolt, but it was actually a sane outcome for women's sports. I guess Leah's big interview with ESPN didn't go over so great with the public. ESPN is owned by ABC, which is owned by Disney. Disney's had a lot of bad luck with the public lately. So women's swimming at least is safe for the moment, which is a good thing because it was becoming the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
How about that?
Bigger than Leah Thomas being able to swim, Roe v. Wade was shot down. Unbelievable, isn't it? Leaking, intimidation, assassination attempts. It didn't work. That can't be right. Leftists handled it well, though.
A man is holiday! My choice! My choice!
Don't worry, if you're in a place where it's locked down and the businesses are closed, crime's everywhere and everybody's wearing a mask and has 8,000 Pfizer injections, relax. Your abortion's not going anywhere. You're exactly in the right spot.
My choice!
I can only imagine the amount of bullshit GoFundMe's being set up right now to sucker leftists into sponsoring phony abortion trips. Good. Donate away. So now over and over again, all you're going to hear is, what about rape and incest? Just tell Clinton and the Bidens to knock it off and problem solved. You know, if they had just stuck to the script about what abortion was supposed to be.
Where abortion is safe and legal, but rare.
Safe, legal, and rare wasn't supposed to add up to over 60 million. If that wasn't the case, maybe it would be a little bit different. But anyone paying attention knows that the vast majority of abortions was more about inconvenience and birth control as opposed to anything else. Also, we keep seeing the Democrats just getting more and more radical about it. You know, like they want complete, unambiguous murder.
Any limitation on abortion, or do you think that women should have the right to have an abortion all the way up to 9 months?
I believe an abortion is a medical decision, and I believe that should be a choice made between a doctor and a woman.
That a baby born on a table as a result of a botched abortion, that decision should be left to the doctor and the family? Is that what you're saying?
It should. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That decision should be between the patient and the healthcare provider.
I think that at that point, the patient would be the child struggling on a table. Wouldn't you agree?
That's a very good question. I really don't know how to answer that.
Is there any restriction on abortion? Anything at all? Do you have anything against conducting Aztec blood sacrifice rituals? No, not really. That's a decision between the woman and her witch doctor. But the left can take solace, in some things. For instance, no one can still get any baby formula. So not to worry, they'll get the babies one way or the other. In addition to that, the left can rest easy because I guarantee you right now, McConnell, Romney, Lindsey Graham are all working feverishly to reach across the aisle, to compromise and get Roe v. Wade totally back on the books, because they stand up to bullies. So the timing seems quite remarkable, doesn't it? The January 6th hearing, I meant the Liz Cheney CNN audition hearings were generating zero interest, having to be postponed, basically 2 seconds after Trump secured the biggest victories for the conservative cause in over a half century. Look, powerful, gripping testimony never given before. Actually, it wasn't that new, and no cross-examination of any kind. Coincidentally, on primary day, when both Democrats and establishment Republicans are trying to squash Trump and Trump-favored politicians, you have Cassidy Hutchinson giving testimony that she heard this and that from this and that guy. This is remarkable testimony. The telephone game under oath. And Trump didn't care about violence, and he reached up in his limo and grabbed the wheel of the beast and choked a Secret Service agent.
The president said something to the effect of, "I'm the effing president, take me up to the Capitol now." Reached up towards the front of the vehicle to grab at the steering wheel. Mr. Engel grabbed his arm, said, "Sir, you need to take your hand off the steering wheel. We're going back to the West Wing. We're not going to the Capitol." Mr. Trump then used his free hand to lunge towards Bobby Engel. And when Mr. Renato had recounted this story to me, he had motioned towards his clavicles.
And he wanted to smack Mark Meadows like Will Smith hitting Chris Rock. And then he ran to the airport and he clung to the side of Air Force One like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible. And he said, "This is my presidency," only he said it in Russian. And then he wanted to hop onto Marine One where he could shoot some missiles at Mike Pence. All this junk testimony, which is exactly the type of thing we've been hearing for the last 6 years, was fully embraced by Fox, by National Review, which should tell you a lot about establishment conservative media.
This testimony was very compelling from beginning to end.
You should hold them with the same scorn they have for you, especially since her story was instantly refuted by the Secret Service agents involved. Time to throw another log on the hoax fire.
Cassidy Hutchinson is under oath.
By the way, can we stop pretending there's no incentive at all to lie in front of a nationally televised hearing? We just saw it with Amber Heard. We've seen it with Christine Blasey Ford. Ford pocketed a lot of money. Book deals, speaking fees, instant fame. She's a hero for half the country. And the opportunity to move the needle for your political agenda. Yeah, people might cross some lines for that. When the dust settles, it'll be interesting to see the rewards for Hutchinson. For all the spectacle that's been taking place, and that's all it is, it should not be forgotten that Trump supporters killed no one. The riot was dispersed within hours. And meanwhile, the full establishment Democrat Party and mainstream media winked and nodded and gaslit about months of violent, arson-filled, murderous rioting and destruction, with 30-plus adults and children killed. Joe Biden has yet to even condemn an attempted hit on a Supreme Court judge. But I'm supposed to be beside myself in shock at Trump's behavior? I'm sorry, his alleged behavior?
You gotta be f***ing kidding.
Yeah, I don't think so. Thanks for watching. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe. Be sure to pass around to anybody who might like my content. And I'll see you the next time.